General chemical tests for anthraquinone glycosides. Questions related to chemical tests are very common in competitive exams. So, we have to study such chemical tests. Here, chemical tests for anthraquinone glycosides are discussed. Certain tests are positive for almost all the glycosides. We call them as general tests. Here we will see two general tests for anthraquinone glycosides. First one is Borntrager's test and the second one is modified Borntrager's test. Both Borntrager's test and modified Borntrager's tests are very important. Let's start with the Borntrager's test. We have to know the reagents used in Borntrager's test. For competitive exams, procedure of the test is not important, but we have to remember the reagents used in that procedure. So, I will not explain the step-by-step procedure of the tests. You can see the reagents used in Borntrager's test. Here, you have to remember the names of such reagents. First one is ammonia, second one is sulfuric acid, third one is chloroform. And how can we remember them? I made a sentence that is, I am such a sensitive person born in Andhra Pradesh. Let's see the trick. I am, that am is for ammonia. Such, that is SUCH. First two letters, that is SU, stands for sulfuric acid, and the last two letters, that is CH, stands for chloroform. SU for sulfuric acid and CH for chloroform. So collectively such. So three kinds of reagents are used. First one is ammonia, second one is sulfuric acid, and third one is chloroform. Instead of sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid can be used for the test. In place of chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, that is CCl4, benzene or ether can be used for the test. So the trick is am such. Am for ammonia, such for sulfuric acid and chloroform. Now we have to connect these reagents with the Borntrager's test. So I expanded the sentence as I am such a sensitive person born in Andhra Pradesh. With this big sentence, we can connect the reagents with the Borntrager's test. Just see the word born. That born stands for Borntrager's test. Now, what is the purpose of Andhra Pradesh? Andhra Pradesh stands for anthraquinone glycoside, which means Borntrager's test is used to identify anthraquinone glycosides. I am such a sensitive person born in Andhra Pradesh. Born for Borntrager's test, Andhra Pradesh is for anthraquinone glycoside. Now, what is the purpose of the word sensitive? An example for anthraquinone glycoside is Senoside. Senoside A, B, C and D are obtained from senna. These are very important anthraquinone glycosides. So, we can remember that Borntrager's test is used to identify senosides. Senosides are anthraquinone glycosides. Borntrager's test is used to identify anthraquinone glycosides like senosides. The senosides can be remembered with the word sensitive. I am such a sensitive person born in Andhra Pradesh. M for ammonia, Su for sulfuric acid, Ch for chloroform, sensitive for senosides, born for Borntrager's test, Andhra Pradesh is for anthraquinone glycosides. Instead of sulfuric acid, we can use hydrochloric acid. Instead of chloroform, we can use carbon tetrachloride, benzene or ether. Borntrager's test can be used for the identification of S-anthraquinone glycosides, O-anthraquinone glycosides and N-anthraquinone glycosides. For the ease of remembering, take the word sun. S glycosides, O glycosides, N glycosides. In short, sun glycosides. Sun, born. So we can connect the word sun with the word born. Sun, born. Sun for different kinds of glycosides. That is S, O and N glycoside. Born is for Borntrager's test. Sun, born. Sun glycosides can be identified with Borntrager's test. If sun glycosides are present, rose pink color is produced. Sun glycosides give rose pink color by Borntrager's test. Some glycosides do not come under the class of sun glycosides. Such glycosides are called as C glycosides. For identifying C glycosides, modified Borntrager's test is needed. C glycosides can be identified with the modified Borntrager's test. Now, let's see the difference between Borntrager's test and modified Borntrager's test. As I said, C glycosides can be identified with the modified Borntrager's test. The reason is for C glycosides, simple hydrolysis is not enough. That is, simple hydrolysis with sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid is not enough. For C glycosides, oxidative hydrolysis is needed. How can we produce oxidative hydrolysis? For oxidative hydrolysis, ferric chloride reagent is needed. So, in modified Borntrager's test, ferric chloride reagent is added as an additional reagent. FeCl3, ferric chloride, is the additional reagent in modified Borntrager's test. This FeCl3 can produce oxidative hydrolysis, which is essential for the hydrolysis of C glycosides. Some glycosides can be easily hydrolyzed with sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, but for C glycosides, addition of ferric chloride is essential. Ferric chloride is added along with the hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. Remaining reagents are similar as that of Borntrager's test. That is, ammonia is also there. Chloroform is also used. Finally, the reagents for modified Borntrager's test are ammonia, sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, benzene or ether, and ferric chloride. Thank you.